Hello world. I've got my basic bitch Starbucks cup, and this is the second time that I'm attempting this video because yesterday I got rained out, which was great. But yeah, this video is basically just to explain to the world what is Generate. So let's see where to start. Generate's a program that I'm developing and the name of my startup. And what the program is a building model generator. So where this came from was, you may or may not know that we're entering the fourth industrial revolution, which is enabled by AI and computers. And so working and learning the processes of the third industrial revolution, but also occasionally seeing like the massive impact AI can have, I thought it was a better use of my time to try to develop the tools for the next generation. So that's basically what it is. So Generate is a software that produces building models through AI. Some of the benefits, I think, of doing this is that by having this tool that's more efficient, it can alleviate some of the demand placed on architects. One of the greatest complaints that every architect I've ever interacted with has talked about is the amount of time that goes into their projects. And by leveraging AI, I think that time can be drastically reduced, enabling architects to enjoy their life more. And by having higher efficiency, that can increase supply of buildings, which includes housing. So it can go a long way to alleviating the housing affordability crisis. Right now, architecture and design services account for 5 to 20% of a project's total fees. And if 20% of the fees of every building could be automated through AI, that would go a long way to helping a lot of people out in the world. Also, as we go into the future and start using VR and our cities become smarter and more autonomous, this is going to be a necessary technology in order to enable a lot of these automations and smart technologies. And as such, someone needs to build it. So I thought, why not? So what else can I talk about? I guess I could explain a little bit how it works. So for all the architecture people, you're not going to have a lot of experience in programming languages probably, but basically how you write a software is through a programming language, and there's known as high level and low level ones, and depending on what you're trying to do, you'll choose you'll choose a high level or a low level language. So that's how a program is built. Now, the way you make an AI, and AI is a bad term, I really should say machine learning, because AI is really all computers. But machine learning is when you program a computer to learn on its own. And the way you program a machine learning project is, well, there's multiple ways, but one way is through a framework within a programming language called TensorFlow. And this is, maybe I should explain what a framework is. Like, a framework is basically like code that's already been written into building blocks, so you don't have to go from scratch every single time. So imagine you have a bunch of machine learning building blocks, and now you can put them together to quickly make a usable product. That's what TensorFlow is. So using TensorFlow, it's already the building block for a lot of machine learning applications that do object recognition and different types of generation and linear regression, which is like getting data points and finding the trends between those data points. Now, I'm going to attempt to use the same framework to get the data points from building models and then train the computer to learn how to build doors, how to build windows, and then put all of those components together and start producing building models, which could be options. There's going to have to be an element of it that whatever your search query is connects to the like components of the building that the program generates. Kind of like Google, where you like have a search query, you enter in the search engine, and then it gives you different links that are connected by tags, right? So I'm thinking that it's going to work similarly to Google's search engine. And then like randomization can be done through what's called a randomization seed, which is basically like it's a pseudo random number. So if it's 0, it'll give you one option. If it's the value is 1, it'll give you another option. But it's still tied to a value, so it's not really random. But by doing that, you can get like a sort of random. So the building search engine, if you want to call it that, is basically going to be the result of all of these model engines, machine learning engines, that are responsible for components working together to go from the smallest features to the largest, which is really good for scalability. Like you could start off with a program that just generates doors, and once you add all of the features for a room and you mix them in the correct ways, then you could start generating rooms. And you could scale up rooms to buildings, and buildings to like complexes or facilities, and then even entire cities. So that's how it works. Some people ask me about the name because it sounds kind of weird, and it's very similar to Generate. That was intentional. It's a mixture, I forget what the word for mixture is, like a portmanteau or something. But it's a mixture of two words, generate and latent. And this kind of gets into like esoteric terms within the architecture field, but latent just basically means imagination. It means like something that exists without a physical form. And then generate is to manifest something. So I wanted the combination of those two words to be implying like you're generating some kind of thought, or you're generating in the real world some kind of imaginary building. So that's how I got to Generate. And yeah, I mean, there's not much more to it. Like, it's being developed on GitHub and on my local computer. We have social media on Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook. We have a website. Am I forgetting anything? You can follow the GitHub if you would like to follow and participate. It's probably going to be open source. And yeah. Oh, and if you want to see the park I'm at, this is the beautiful park I'm in. So yeah, this is like my first announcement video to the world, I guess. To me, this is a cool project. I've already been working on it for a while. It's not important that we're in a recession. It's not important that it's a lot of work, you know? Like, just keep chugging along, and hopefully I'll have more in my next update. So stay tuned.